Good evening, everyone. Take your seats. It's an excellent omen that we're starting on time for the continuation of this consultation. My name is Alan Schneider. For those who haven't met me, I'm the director of the B'nai B'rith World Center in Jerusalem. And I have the pleasant task of kicking off this consultation on mainline Protestant churches in the state of Israel. And I will try to do this as quickly and to the best of my ability. As you all know, those who have come from far and wide, it's not a simple fact that we're gathered here in Ma'aleh HaChamisha, just off the road to Jerusalem, for what I believe has the potential of being a very important 4 days. 4 days that, if successful, may provide a better understanding of developments within the mainline Protestant churches insofar as they relate to the state of Israel, and perhaps lay the foundations for positive change. 3 long years of planning have culminated in this moment. And we learn in the tractate Megillah that Rabbi Yitzchak said that if a man tells you that he toiled yet did not find, do not believe him. If he tells you that he did not toil yet found, do not believe him either. But if he tells you that he toiled and he found, believe him. And I can attest that we have indeed toiled, and I hope that by the end of this consultation, in the spirit of Rabbi Yitzchak, we will find at least some of the answers we are seeking. Now, all of this planning and delay in implementing this consultation has actually worked in our favor, I think, to make this consultation particularly propitious, because we are sitting down here just a fortnight or so after representatives of 7 Jewish organizations, including my own, B'nai B'rith International, pulled out of a long-planned meeting of an ongoing dialogue with leaders of mainline Protestant churches in reaction to what I can only term a scandalous letter sent to the U.S. Congress with signatures of 15 mainline church leaders accusing Israel of war crimes and calling for the cessation of U.S. military aid to Israel. Now, the letter, of course, gave a free pass to every other country to engage apace in the murder of civilians, persecution of minorities, including Christians, honor killings, forced conversions, discrimination against women, and many other gross human rights violations. That letter severed decades of carefully built relations that papered over ever-increasing hostility within the church leadership towards the state of Israel. And just last week, the usually reserved UK Board of Jewish Deputies took the unprecedented step of lodging a formal complaint to the Church of England against Reverend Stephen Sizer, the vicar of Virginia Water Church in Surrey, and one of the most notorious Israel baiters, accusing him of making anti-Semitic statements and republishing anti-Semitic material on his website. So perhaps it's not only us here at this meeting, but others who are beginning to recognize that it's time to take a more robust action in order to achieve a change that can only come from within the churches. This meeting is also preceded by decades of frustration as we watch the approach of these significant religious movements and important voices of morality and human ethics turn more and more against the state of Israel. While we all know that Israel faces greater immediate threats than the mainline Protestant churches' verbal attacks, they do affect what should be, and once was, one of Israel's greatest bases of support, and that is the liberal West. Although we prefer to deny it, we know that the negative atmosphere toward Israel contributes to the BDS movement and has a very real effect on Israel's economy and on the political support it can expect from Western countries. Now, this consultation has been convened to offer an alternative to the tired and repetitive scenario in which elements in these churches push the anti-Israel envelope further and further along through biased reports and resolutions debated before their general assemblies, while those sympathetic to Israel claim victory by amending only the most offensive language, or narrowly defeating these resolutions. A defeat of an anti-Israel resolution by the slimmest of margins, such as happened in the last General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church USA, is, in my opinion, a Pyrrhic victory at best, and at worst is a justification for not tackling this challenge head on. Now, during these long years, there were only a handful of people I could turn to share my frustration at what was developing and from whom I could receive guidance. First and foremost among them is Reverend Dr. Petra Held, my partner in this consultation. With her keen understanding of the different forces at play and a deep commitment to Jewish-Christian relations, she has been a veritable Urim and Tumim for me. At her suggestion, we together reinstated the Liaison Committee, an informal Jewish-Christian forum for raising and resolving issues of concern to both communities. Over the last 2 years, the Liaison Committee has held a number of very important sessions that have tackled some of the tough contemporary issues that have impacted on Jewish-Christian relations and on Christians in the Middle East. In our last section, just 3 weeks ago, we hosted the outgoing Israeli ambassador to the Holy See, Ambassador Moti Levy, who is, I hope will join us shortly, and who presented a very frank and personal assessment of Israel-Vatican relations. And you have a transcript of that in your packets. I also wish to note the support, the keen insight, and friendship of Malcolm Lowy, who together with Petra form a brilliant couple deeply dedicated to open dialogue, mutual respect, and support. Another source of steady and insightful defense of Israel, who has become a dear friend, is the indefatigable Dexter Van Zyl, and we're very grateful that Dexter is here with us as well. Now, this consultation is not only about learning and strategizing together, but is also an expression of our gratitude to each and every one of you who accepted our invitation to participate in this consultation. I know that some of you have paid a personal price, and some of you even a dear physical price, others a professional and social price within your communities, for standing with Israel in the face of double standards, misplaced fixation, and perhaps prejudice and even anti-Semitism. I want to give particular praise to our American friends who, even in the face of the worst storm in history that hit the eastern United States and a deeply contested national election to boot that's taking place right now, never once thought of sitting this meeting out at home. I must also single out the person who I believe traveled the furthest to be with us, and that's Hani Herland, who, although she's from Norway, she traveled actually from Brazil, all the way from Brazil to be with us here this evening with her husband, and we're very, very happy to be with you. One other person I'd like to point out, and I'm sorry, I don't have the time to mention everyone, but we'll be doing that tomorrow, is Reverend Umar Mulindi from Uganda, who's been here in Israel now many months, undergoing treatment for an attack against him that took place in the eve of Christmas a year and a half ago, and a year ago. We're very pleased that Umar is with us. He's spoken to the Liaison Committee as well, and we'll be hearing from him tomorrow as well. Now, there are going to be 4 very intensive days of this consultation, beginning with today. And for those who reviewed the program, you know that we may have to implore divine intervention and, of course, a considerable amount of goodwill and cooperation on your part to accomplish it successfully in the way that we envisioned it and that appears in your programs. The most important part of the program is the interaction and dialogue with and between our guests. We feel that there is much to be learned from each other and that this meeting has a potential of being the beginning of a renewed faith in the true common interests of our communities and in the ultimate legitimacy of the State of Israel as the Jewish state. We hope to conduct these discussions in an atmosphere of deep mutual respect, also for the beliefs that divide us. Together, these deliberations, we have assembled what I hope you will find to be a varied and valuable set of lectures, presentations, and site visits, We begin this evening with a keynote address by Rabbi Shlomo Riskin, Chancellor and founder of the Center for Jewish-Christian Understanding and Cooperation, on the state of Israel as the fundamental component in Jewish-Christian relations today. Rabbi Riskin's lecture will be followed by a response by Reverend Paul Wilkinson, Associate Minister of the Hazel Grove Full Gospel Church in the U.K. Tomorrow we will hear brief reports by all of the participants, augmenting their written reports which you have in your files. And these will be followed by a lecture on developments in megachurches and a number of thoughtful Jewish responses. We will also have sessions on the conspiracy against Israel and the case for Israel, and on Wednesday, a very meaningful session on the present and future of Christians in the Middle East, with special guests Raymond Ibrahim and Julia Tamorazi, who are with us here in the hotel, but unfortunately were delayed at the airport, but are now here and hopefully will join us shortly. On Wednesday, we'll also get out of the hotel for a tour in the old city of Jerusalem, including an audience with the Greek Orthodox Patriarch and a visit to the city of David, and exposure to an impressive Jewish-Arab coexistence project in Jerusalem. On Thursday, following a tour of Christian sites in the north, we will end the consultation with a discussion on tourism as a possible bridge to better understanding of Israel, led by Uri Sharon, Director of the Religious Tourism Desk at the Ministry of Tourism.